please นะฮะ American accent please นะฮะ message you said
Professor and everybody. My name is Ukrit Zarankiat John. The student ID is 57145534454.
บอก
Today
ทำไม
I will
วะ
talk with you about the research
บอกทำไมวะ
use of life cycle assessment methodology for determining fiber remediation potentials of mice-based cropping system in field with nitrogen fertilizer overdose.
มันมีตัวไหนที่ห้าม
ยาวชิบหายขอโทษโอ้ติดเสียง
The content that I will talk with you is separate in 6 content. The first one is introduction, objective, materials and methods, result and discussion, conclusion, and the last topic is how to adapt with my thesis. The first one is introduction. This research is from China, so in China it has many areas that's used for the agriculture. And the farmer are use the nitrogen fertilizer in overdose, so it will affect to the environment. The nitrate will release to the groundwater or river or water around the area. So in the introduction, I will talk with you in 3 topics. The first one is life cycle assessment or LCA, nitrate pollution and fire remediation. The first one is LCA. You can see this picture. The life cycle assessment is the method that used to analyze the effect of production or service in whole process. The step of LCA has 4 steps. The first one is goal and scope definition. It's very important step because you must know what product that you want to analyze the result or the effect. And when you use to analyze in this product, why you must to analyze this, and what the advantage, and who can use this advantage to their production. Okay. When you finish the goal and scope definition, you will go to the inventory analysis. The inventory analysis is you will collect the data. In the goal and scope definition, you will set the boundary. And in the second step, you will collect data in the input and output. In this step, you must to use the long time because when you have the data, you must to give the data to the commissioner to collect the data.
must to ไม่มี
You should to. You should
to ไม่มี should whatever must whatever need to
Need to.
Need to.
You need to send the data to the commissioner to collect the data that true or false. And when you have the exceptional data, you will go to the third step is impact assessment. The impact assessment you will separate into the normalization and weighting. And the last step is interpretation. From the picture you will see the scope of LCA. The first one is gate to gate. You will analyze start from the entrance of your factory and to the production and to the product. The second scope is cradle to gate. We will analyze from raw material to the product. The third step is cradle to grave. Analyze from the raw material to the disposal. And the last one is cradle to cradle. Cradle to cradle will different from the cradle to grave. That's the material that we use can reuse or recycle. So you will analyze from the raw material to the raw material again. This is the problem of this research. It's a nitrate pollution, so I will give you some knowledge. The nitrate pollution is the situation that the excessive amount of nitrogen released to the surface and groundwaters. Mainly source is from a result of agricultural practice. Excessive accumulation of nitrogen as well as phosphorus may lead to the eutrophication phenomenon. Eutrophication phenomenon will affect to the aquatic animal. It has algae bloom and it can reduce the oxygen level in the water. And when in this research, they use the fiber remediation to solve the problem. This treatment that use the plant to mitigate the environment problem without the need to excavate the contaminated material and dispose of it elsewhere. This method can mitigate pollutant concentration in contaminated soil, water, or the air. Why we should use the fiber remediation to solve the problem? Because the first one, the cost of this method is lower than the traditional method. The plants can be easily monitored, and it is potentially the least harmful method because it uses naturally occurring organisms. The objective of this research, they want to evaluate the fiber remediation technology in an arable field and analyze the impact of cropping system-based fiber remediation practice on the environment. Material and methods. The material in this research will separate in Philippines. The first one is arable field. The arable field, they analyze in the calculus level soil. That the area had a Shenzhen experimentation in the suburb of Beijing. And the treatment type, they separate in three. The first one is CK, also mice. Plant the mice 100%. It will be the environmental standard. And the second one is a mine with soybean or CST, and mine with groundnut or CTT. The method, they use the LCA to their method. For you can see this picture, the first one is grow and scope definition. You can see the system boundary. In the subsystem boundary, they set the exploration, processing, and transportation of raw material. For example, fossil fuel, processed gas. The next one is production and transportation of mineral fertilizer, plant protection substance, plant protection seeds or machinery. And the last one is arable farming. For example, is soil preparation, fertilization, plant protection, or harvest. And when they set the system boundary, they will set the input and output. The input of this research is the energy land, and the output is the emission of air, water, and soil. In the second step, they collect the data. You can see in this table, in the real-time data, it's not from the primary data. Not only primary data, because you can't correct the data. When you can't collect the data, you will use the secondary data that you can see. For sometimes it's from the paper, or sometimes it's on the standard that contribute in the website. Okay. When we have the data, this is the example of the data. You can see the table 4 is the input and output of substance, or the table 5 is a life cycle resource, and table 6 is life cycle emission. Okay? When you have the data, you will go to the impact assessment. In this step, you will separate in normalization and weighting. Normalization will show you the size of the effect, and the weighting you will show the priority of the effect. And go to the interpretation. In the interpretation,